morning or good afternoon, Wastecasters. Well, bit of a stressful day today, bit of a stressful morning. Went to go out for a cigarette this morning at about 9 o'clock and they lost my tobacco. And one of the sort of staff went and they keep them in these big pouches, like these big sort of polythene pouches. And one of the staff went to the other staff after she told me that I'd been like, well, they brought the pouch out, my tobacco wasn't even in it. So I was just like, what's going on here? And I'd been out for a cigarette last night and I'd given the pouch back, my tobacco pouch to put in my big pouch back. Anyway, it had gone missing. And when I gave the pouch to the first member of staff, she was like, kind of didn't seem to be aware, sort of gave me this empty pouch. So there you go out for a cigarette. And I was like, you know, what's wrong with this picture? Do you know what I mean? Like, and then to pass it to another member of staff. And she said to her, yeah, so Brody's tobacco's gone missing. Like, you know, it's not in there. And then she just was like totally oblivious. Again, just sort of like, oh, anyway, here's your cigarettes, and holding this empty pouch after she'd just been said, like really clearly, Brody's tobacco's not in there. He doesn't know where it is. Can you take him out the door? Anyway, after I said loads of times, like, it's gone missing, where's my tobacco? It must have been put in someone else's pouch. Like loads of times I sort of verbally had to recount all these different kind of things before eventually they found it on the floor of the office. I don't really know how it's possible that a tobacco pouch could make it onto like the floor of the office when they do this, like literally sort of 20 or 30 times a day for the 15 or 20 patients who go out for cigarettes every day. Anyway, when I did eventually they found my tobacco and I went out for a cigarette, I went and sort of sat on the steps outside the front of the hospital and went and had a couple of smokes, which I want to stop doing. Came back in and they said that they'd lost my search form. I just posted some stuff, put this post on Facebook about the CrowdStrike outage, how that was like the biggest cybercrime in the human race. Loads of people like on Twitter missed their flights, and I found that I couldn't access my medical records. They keep on getting my details wrong on these search forms, and when I got back to after I had my cigarette, they said they'd lost my search form loads of times, like probably without exaggerating, like about 25 or 30 times they've misrepresented my details. They keep saying that my coat is a brown coat, like this black hemp hoodlum jacket, like it's a black jacket. Like it is sort of sun bleached, it's got brown inside, but it's not a brown coat. Like, I mean, if it's just a black coat, it's just really obviously a black coat. And weirdly, there's like about 6 other guys on the ward who have black coats on, like long black coats, including the staff. Obviously that's just a coincidence, you know. A lot of people have black coats as a popular colour. They even bought like a staff black coat, a ward black coat. There was like a long black puffer jacket last year in the winter, in like sort of like September, October, November time. Loads of people were wearing long black jackets on the ward. A few weeks ago, not a few weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, the staff also misrepresent my name. Like they spell my name and they do it in really shoddy handwriting. And I've checked on the internet and it's not clinical negligence or medical negligence to misspell someone's name. And like GP's handwriting is kind of like universal, isn't it, in kind of medical terms. But yeah, a week and a half ago, same guy who actually forged my signature. So like on one of the leave forms, I came back in one day and I was like, this was about a month and a half ago. I was like, can I sign back in, please? You have to sign in and sign out. I said, can I sign back in, please? And they said, no, it's already been done. And I was like, how can it have already been done? I haven't done it. And then I looked on the thing and somebody had done like a completely different signature. And they'd said it was a member of staff. Same guy's on shift today, actually. I won't, obviously put staff details on the internet because it's a breach of confidentiality. But yeah, the same staff member. I'm busy, thank you. Okay, cheers. Yeah, the same staff member. I I'll show you the look. I've got it in my room. I was going to make a part of it, like scan it, put it as part of the video. A few weeks ago, they've got these search forms, right? And these search forms that I use, he'd written my name like really badly, so it was just like wasn't legible. And they're paid to kind of like make sure that your name is legible. And like complete the search form properly. And this guy literally tore it into little pieces. He said, all right, well, if my writing's not good enough, you know, why don't you just do it then? You just fill out the whole form, which is just, I kind of felt was absolutely absurd. And he literally tore it up. I've had this in my pocket for ages. You can probably see, like, this is most of the bits of this form. And it doesn't have a bit on there that says name of the person conducting the search. He used to do that. He used to have that. But it doesn't anymore. And it's just, they stopped. I insisted that everyone who searched me write down their name, like print their name as they would have done on their job application, not sort of like just put their first name, which they kept on doing, or like just put their initials that they kept on doing. I was like, no, if you're going to search me and stick your hands in my pockets and, you know, touch my body all over, then I'd like you to make sure that you, that you I can identify who you are, you know, like just out of courtesy. So they actually changed the search form a little while ago. Here's a copy of the new one. I just went to the office and asked, after this morning, they said they lost this bit of paper, right? This bit of paper where I'd signed out at like 9:20 after posting this thing about CrowdStrike on Facebook. And then they'd eventually they said they found it, and as soon as they found it, I said, can I have a photocopy of it? The time returned said like 91:30, and it was just like, what the fuck? And then the nurse that was showing it to me said it was written error there, but yeah, like it was like an illegible time. And they said that the same member of staff that had forged, I'm busy, thank you, the same member of staff that had forged my signature a few weeks ago, sort of accidentally, he said he'd just signed it on my behalf, but, you know, like kind of didn't give any reasons. Apparently had done this again and had sort of signed in for me. But yeah, the old search forms used to have this bit that said name of person conducting the search. And I kept on asking that they fill that out, and they kind of kept on not doing it and kept on putting my name like here on the right hand side, just my first name, so you couldn't put my second name in. I can't go to a solicitor about this. I spent all day on the phone yesterday trying to speak to solicitors. You can't do anything about people who misrepresent your details by mistake or anything like that. I just had a bit of a stressful day today, where first of all they lost my cigarettes and they were like, they've gone missing. Then they made it look like I'd gone missing by losing the search form that said that I was safely returned to the ward after having gone for a cigarette. And then just to top it all off, I went to the office like about 10 minutes ago and asked for a photocopy of my leave forms, like the ones I signed with my description on it, where they often write that I'm wearing blue jeans. They even put, like, most memorably one time, I was wearing this cap, yeah, and they said I had a black face cap on, which is quite similar to what somebody else had, like a black face mask. They make these simple human errors on the documents, and every time it's simple human error, and you can't go to like a CQC or a solicitor and be like, someone spelled my name wrong, and like they've put down that I'm wearing blue jeans instead of grey jeans, and like there's someone else wearing a black top and blue jeans, and they've written that I'm wearing a black shirt, and like, you know, this, you know, I'm wearing a shirt today. The other day they kind of misrepresented, they said this, I was just wearing this black sweater, and they said it was a black shirt. And there was another guy going out on leave at exactly the same time who had sort of like a greyish collared jacket and blue jeans on. So they said, you know, anyway, I'm rambling bullshit. I went to the office just now, right? And first of all, they gave me all these forms. First of all, they gave me all these forms. That was cool.
But then when I asked for a copy of my search form, all of my search forms, they've edited the form and removed the bit that says name of person conducting the search. So there's no way to me to verify who searched me. And they did this like in about November, they started doing this. And they've given me one copy of the form, like a blank form that I asked for, right? But when I just went and asked to the other one, they kind of looked like they were sweating spinal fluid and then just wouldn't give me. They said, no, you have to go through the MDT. You have to go through the multidisciplinary team. I was just a bit like, I'm going to show you really quickly. I think I've got a screenshot of a text message that I sent yesterday. I tried to contact Reed solicitors who have an unlawful detention specialist. And this is a text that I sent yesterday. This is going to make this video longer. To a solicitor's firm. Like, I spoke to like 4 or 5 different solicitors yesterday and no one will represent me. Hello, I'm currently detained under Section 3 of the Mental Health Act at Signet Q-Stake. I'm unsure of who's funding my ongoing treatment as there seems to be some confusion regarding this. Following my ward round today, which was yesterday, they couldn't tell me who was funding me, DPT or AWP. I'm also being denied the right to take voice notes or consultations as is permitted, even covertly, by every relevant legitimate authority and guidance on the matter. Also, I've been denied portable printed copy of my medical legal scrutiny checklist. Having been previously detained unlawfully without this vital component of a lawful detention, constituting an unlawful deprivation of liberty, I'm concerned that this censorship, potentially obfuscating the unlawful detention from being exposed in the public domain, along with the trust who have, as I confirmed in writing from their MHA office, unlawfully detained me previously, now being foisted as being the funder rather than AWP NHS, who have until recently been claimed by Signet to have been the Integrated Care Board designated funder, formal mental health treatment being appointed. There may be multiple issues I could litigate for. 1, unlawful deprivation of liberty due to absence of medical legal scrutiny checklist. 2, breach of GMC guidance by my responsible clinician on the grounds that he refuses to permit the use of voice notes. Should be 3. Signet Q-Stake policy following an official complaint which didn't uphold my right to record, breaching GDPR and data protection. Or see yesterday's wastecast. And then funding for mental health treatment being sourced from the first payer rather than determined by the precedent of the doctrine established by Swindon versus Worcestershire Supreme Court ruling, constituting non-compliance or potentially contempt of court if it were ever subject to litigation. I'm very interested, seeking legal issues. Just spoken with another solicitor who has since cancelled on the appointment that was meant to be at 10:30 a.m. this morning. He's looking to apply for legal aid, but only willing to represent on the grounds of unlawful deprivation of liberty. None of the other issues. If I complete a legal aid form tomorrow covering just one issue, would you be able to represent me? And then it was just like message not sent. I saw quite a lot of content yesterday, weirdly, like within, let's have a look at the properties for this. Let's move that there. Let's have a look. Details. What time did I take this? 3:35 p.m. it says. I saw like other content yesterday about like messages or something on the internet. I can't even remember what it was about. I was reading something. I was like Googling why messages didn't go through, or kind of like, you know, what people have to do to kind of reciprocate. But anyway, it's a 13-minute video, so I'm just going to stick it on YouTube, go and have my lunch. Hopefully that will have been completed correctly, and whatever I'm supposed to be having for lunch will be right. Thanks for watching. Make sure if you're in a psych ward, if you go to a psych ward, make sure that they spell your name correctly, they write your name correctly, they don't misrepresent what you're wearing or confuse you with like several other patients and staff wearing the same thing as you. And also make sure that you don't end up having your clerical documents ripped up into little shreds after they've been edited to absolve staff details from being present on them, and then told that as a patient you have to complete the clerical documents in your own handwriting, or he literally said, if you don't fill the form out yourself, I'm just going to say that you refuse to sign. The same guy who accidentally signed where it says patient signature. None of the staff where it says print name put their name. I've redacted that form, but like, yeah, I don't want to go back into it. They just put like, you know, their initials, or like they don't print the name where it says print name. like they would have done on their job application. Assuming they've got jobs, which I do assume, even though they won't show me their ID badges so I can put them into the NMC website. But let's not. Thank you very much. I'm going to have some coffee here and go and have my lunch. Cheers.